Joining me on the program from Barnabas Aid, Richard Drury. Richard, kia ora.
Morning, Andrew. Morning, everyone.
Now, you know the answer to this question because you emailed me the answer as the place that we're talking about today. The envelope, please. What are we talking about this morning, Richard?
It is, of course, Algeria, that vast nation in North Africa.
Yeah, and a place that probably doesn't make the headlines that much at the moment. It's been a long time since the decline of the Roman Empire, a long time since St. Augustine was doing his thing. Talk to us about the country now and some of the conditions, some of the circumstances that Christians in that part of the world are facing.
Yes, now are approximately 43 million, rivaling DRC and Sudan as the largest of the countries on the continent of Africa.
Yep.
98% Muslim, Sunni Muslim mostly. And depending on who you read, various estimates of Christians between sort of 200,000 and I've read as high as 600,000.
Okay.
I think that might be optimistic, to be honest.
And very difficult to measure that in some ways because, as I said beforehand, it's some people who are Christian wouldn't even necessarily be admitting that to their friends, neighbours, or even family.
Indeed. And that's a point, and I'm glad that you raised the historic roots of Christianity there, 4th and 5th century, nearly completely Christian by the 5th century. And the reason we're mentioning Augustine and of Hippo, modern-day Annaba, Algeria is where he was born, is because it's often forgotten that actually Christianity preceded Islam by many centuries.
Yeah.
And also, it's often depicted in its modern-day form as a Western religion or a Western faith, and that's very much anathema to certain countries. But that's really a revision of history. So, yes, you're quite right to point out its current situation, but it has ancient roots in Christianity and impact across Africa, North Africa, etc.
It is a troubling and difficult part of the world, but this is the specialty work of Barnabas Aid. You work in particular supporting Christians who are persecuted for their faith, who struggle and find it difficult in a number of ways, both in terms of freedoms but also economically, because they call themselves a follower of Jesus. Talk to us about the work that you're doing, particularly in Algeria. Richard?
Well, we're really supporting Christians there. The last time that those that are listening to you may have prayed for Algeria was back in March 2025. But we've been reporting since 2019. And the ways that we try and help is mainly awareness of corporate stories and individual stories. So back in about 2006 in Algeria, although in theory, to practice your faith, it's guaranteed by law. There's an ordinance number 06.03, which imposed strict controls on churches. They had to be registered. And there were various ordinances and restrictions, literal building restrictions. Yeah. And so from that time on, particularly 1819, certainly the Protestant churches of the 47 that are there, 46 of them are closed and or have restrictions placed on them.
Wow.
And therefore to meet there would be an illegal act.
That is,
so
so
Barnabas is simply trying to raise that awareness.
Yeah, that is absolutely shocking. Only one church that's got a permit in such a populous nation. Are there signs of good things that are happening there anyway? Because a lot of Barnabas Aid's work, we go, hey, gosh, isn't this a terrible situation that people are facing? However, God seems to be working here anyway. Any good news you can shine into this space, Richard?
Mainly the profile. It's sort of bittersweet, but the profiling of a pastor, Youssef Uramani, our latest report, he was because he'd been reported for various illegal activities, house group type duties, or meeting in the church.
Yeah.
And he had a prison sentence of 2 years and about an equivalent of New Zealand dollars, $1,000 fine, which is a high fine. His case has been before the courts over a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
So good news, that sentence was reduced to 1 year, but on appeal, sadly, they upheld the case. So
Oh, gosh.
it is good news in the fact that it's being profiled across the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that sense, people know about these facts. Good news, I suppose it's like a lot of Central Asian countries and other countries. Beneath the surface, Christians are meeting.
Yeah. Exactly. And just to put that in context, this is a country which, in terms of its laws, you're free to practice your religion, but the crime that this pastor was convicted for, running a home group, preaching in a church, things that we would normally associate with just the basics of being a Christian, but those were the crimes that he's ended up in prison for.
That's right. He's on remand at the moment, but there are a number of cases where similar churches that don't have permits are seeking to register, and they're met just with silence, complete silence and obfuscation. So the good news is that the faithful Christians there are seeking to be faithful witnesses in a very difficult situation, and therefore, they need our prayers. The fact is, it is very difficult.
On the topic of prayer, and hey, would certainly encourage people to get a hold of Barnabas Aid resources, lots of information such as this, issues that we can pray for. But a very special event happening around the world that Barnabas Aid is involved with. In fact, it all starts here in New Zealand, the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church, or IDOP. Tell us about this, Richard. How can people be involved with it?
Well, they can register, first of all, at barnabasaid.org/IDOP. It's going to begin on the 2nd of November in this country, and I think Algeria will be one of those countries featured.
Wow.
How can they do? So if they're registered, they will receive prayer resources, and they can be involved in a worldwide 24/7 prayer for the suffering and persecuted church. Be a part of that. Hosted, as you say, at the beginning with New Zealand, and then, as it were, going around the world from various places, profiling various countries and situations. So that will be a fabulous thing to be a part of.
What a fantastic idea, really, that praying for the world, around the world, and hosted by various nations. Some of them, like us here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, have relative freedom and safety to meet together and pray. Some of the churches involved in this the global prayer initiative will be more difficult, dangerous places, I imagine.
True, but if they have access somehow, what a tremendous encouragement it would be to think of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of Christians around the world thinking about them for a 24-hour period and a powerful praying act.
This is absolutely fantastic. So this is happening less than a month from now. You think, November, that's ages away. No, register now for this event. Mark it on your calendar, 2nd of November. And that's the weekend, isn't it? Is that a Sunday, New Zealand time?
It is.
Okay, so you've been given the day off, especially for this occasion. 2nd of November, but register for it now. barnabasaid.org/IDOP, and then participate in what will be a tremendous event. And we look forward to not only praying along with you guys, but also hearing some wonderful answers to prayer. Richard, thanks for what you do at Barnabas Aid. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.